Hey folks, Larry Osmond here with Century 21 Miller Real Estate with your Oakville market update for October 2022. So for this year, we had 172 homes sell in October, which is a reduction of 45% of where we were a year ago at 315 homes. So that downward trend in the market is continuing. We continue to see less and less sales, and obviously that's going to have an impact on price. This is the first month in over 3 years where our year-over-year numbers have gone backwards in Oakville. 2022, the average price of a home in Oakville sold for $1.487 million, which is down from $1.512 a year ago. So about a $25,000 reduction in values on that average number. Days on the market, which is always a controversial number for me. Last year, it was 12 days that on average we were on the market. This year, we're doubled at it, or almost doubled at 23 days on the market. The reason why it's controversial is if you think about a year ago when the market was gone haywire and we had multiple offers all the time and bidding and everything else, homes were listing and they were selling. We weren't seeing any cancellations and relists, things like that. Fast forward to this year, and we're seeing a lot of homes that are being canceled and relisted or terminated and relisted and going back on the market at new price reductions. And what that's doing is resetting that counter every time they do it. Unfortunately, our boards report the numbers based on the active listing time on the market. They don't take the continuous days on the market. So when you dig down into those numbers, the average home is actually taking over 65 days to sell in Oakville versus last year it was probably closer to that 12, maybe a little bit off from that, but the number's a little deceiving. So that 23 is really just of the last time that property was on the market. It doesn't take into account if it had been canceled and relisted at a new price. So that's why it's a bit controversial for me. Inventory has grown in Oakville by 23% year over year. And new listings have grown by 10% year over year. So we've got 10% more homes coming on the market. Our inventory's ballooned by 23% from where we were a year ago. And that's predominantly by the increase in houses coming on the market and the lower sales volume. That's where we're getting those offset numbers there. Now, one of the things that you'll always hear from me is don't look at real estate from 30,000 feet. You don't want to be looking at it from way up here, looking down at that GTA, because you're looking at way too many neighborhoods, you're looking at way too many home types, and you're putting it all under one big umbrella, and it's not giving you accurate data. I'm going to tell you to jump in and look at what's happening in your neighborhood. It's important you click that button below, because that's going to take you into your neighborhood page where you can go in and look at the 19 Oakville neighborhoods. 17 of the 19 neighborhoods in Oakville last month sold below last year's quantity of homes sold. That's why we were 45% off. One neighborhood, being Falgarwood, was actually up 37% from a year ago. One neighborhood is still selling the same, and that's Bronte. We had 28 homes sell in Bronte this year in October, 28 homes sold in Bronte last year in October, so they're keeping pace there. Now, pricing is where it really comes into effect. We have 9 of the neighborhoods out of 19 in Oakville that sold at a price below last year's price. So think about that. We're 1.7% behind where we were a year ago, but only 9 of the neighborhoods are actually reporting below what they sold a year ago. The rest of the neighborhoods are selling above. So just to give you an idea, Bronte is selling 6.6% higher than it was a year ago. Central Oakville is 20% higher. College Park is running at 15% higher. Falgarwood, still in there, 21% higher than it was a year ago. Ford, which is part of Southeast Oakville, that's running at 19% above last year's numbers. Glen Abbey is 30% higher. Now, just to qualify that one, we're starting to see some resales come through from the Encore development, which is at that upper middle and Bronte Road area. We're starting to see some of those new homes and those larger detached homes in there hit the resale market. So that's going to prop up some of that pricing. Old Oakville, which is again part of Southeast Oakville, is up 33% October over October, but the year-to-date numbers on that are actually down 9.7%. So you can see how just looking at a month can throw you off a little bit. You want to look at a broader range. Wedgwood, which is part of that northeast corner of Oakville, up just below Joshua Creek, they're running at 6.4% above last year's numbers. So again, we've got 8 neighborhoods there that are outperforming where they were a year ago. And then River Oaks is dead even. I mean, they're within a couple of $1,000s of where they were a year ago. So kind of gives you an idea what's happening in neighborhoods. Like I said, it's important that you jump in and you look at what's going on in your neighborhoods, because not only are you going to see what's happening for your neighborhood, you're going to see what's happening for the home types. Some neighborhoods have a great mix of detached semis, townhomes, condo townhomes, and condominiums. And that's really going to skew those numbers. So Joshua Creek, for example, has an average usually of 8 to 10 sales any given month. And within Joshua Creek, we've got detached homes that are selling in the high twos to $3 million price point. We've got condominiums that sell in the 600,000 range. We've got townhomes that sell anywhere from about $1.2 million upwards to $1.8 million. And then we've got some semi-detached in there as well along the way. So you got a great blend of homes in there. If you only look at one number, it's going to give you an average of what's happening for the neighborhood, but it's not going to tell you what's happening with your home type. And if you've got a detached home, it's going to ultimately be performing higher than the average for the neighborhood. So jump in there and have a look. It also has a list of the homes that actually sold in that neighborhood for that period. So you can see if Joe's house down the road just sold and you don't know what it sold for, jump in there and you can have a look and see what that home sold for. I'm actually in the process of adding historical information in there as well, so you can go back and look as much as a year or even farther back at what homes ended up selling. Again, it's important to jump in and have a look at that. And even if you're not looking to sell, it keeps you educated on what's happening in the neighborhood and where you stand with your home and the equity within your home. If you've ever got any questions about what's going on out there in your local market or any other market that you're maybe interested in, please give me a call. I'd love to chat about it. I love talking real estate and what's going on in the market. Just some other news that happened in the last month in real estate. Obviously, interest rates have a profound impact on what happens in real estate. Back on October 26th, the Bank of Canada increased the rate by another 50 basis points. So all you ever hear in the news lately is interest rates are going up and the home market's coming down. There's part of that reason why that's happening. We have another Bank of Canada meeting coming up on December 6th. I suspect we're going to see another bump then. How much, I don't know. And all indications show we're probably going to see another one or two heading into the new year before this thing finally planes off and starts to level off a little bit. It'll probably be late 2023 before we start to see these interest rates come down, but it's important to know what way they're impacting your home. And if you are thinking about buying or selling, don't make your decision exclusively based on what homes are selling for today or what the interest rates are. It's important to look at all the different metrics to decide if it's the right time for you. And if it is, we can do a calculation of what you're looking at doing and what that's going to look like, and that gives you some factual information to make an educated choice. And if it's the right time to sell, I can tell you what to expect. And if it's not the right time to sell, if the numbers don't add up for you, I'm going to be the first one to say, you know what, sit put, let's cool our jets for a bit and wait for the market to turn. So again, any questions at all, or if there's anything in the world that I can ever do for you, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to help in any which way I can. And until next month, take care and have a great month.